we ready to go?
Hello.
The camera is on. No. All right, so 3, 2, 1. We'll start here. Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Reach Podcast. You know what? I realized we don't even have a name for this.
Reach Podcast.
Reach Podcast. I thought about calling it Reach Out because it's one of our things, like the Reach Out Podcast. I think we'll go with that, Reach Out Podcast. But hey, as you guys know, we are not having service for the next 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks we'll reassess what we're doing. But this morning we had our live stream here at City Church Central, and it was kind of weird being in the auditorium without you guys. I actually said that because it was. There was just a handful of people in the room, and I'm like, I'm here on a Sunday, and none of you guys are here, and it kind of threw me off a little bit. But we're going to be doing that for the next couple of weeks here at City Church. And I just thought, and well, not just me, but a bunch of other people just thought that we would do a podcast for Reach, and also send you guys out some devotionals through email and Instagram and stuff like that, just so we can all stay connected over the next couple weeks. And just want to be a blessing to you guys. So today we're actually going to keep walking through the Sermon on the Mount, and we're going to actually talk through Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through, 13 through 16, I believe, which is the salt and light. And we'll get there in just a little bit. But just a few things to make you guys aware of. Coming up is spring break, and I know that all the schools are shut down. You guys are all shut down till after spring break, right?
Yeah.
So what is the actual date that we're shut down to? Do you know?
For Albemarle right now, we're out for the next 2 weeks, and then we still have technically a week of school before spring break, but I'm pretty sure we'll be out past spring break.
Okay.
Yeah, for us homeschoolers, we're out for 2 weeks.
So you're out for 2 weeks, and then reassess, or is it 2 weeks?
Well, we go back. We don't have spring break till Easter.
The governor said 2 weeks at minimum, so most likely it'll be longer than that. But I don't know.
My guess is we had an all-nighter planned for spring break. We had a service project planned, a middle school outing and a high school outing. But we're gonna have to shut those things down just to wait till how things progress. We'll save the all-nighter till summer. We'll probably do that the first week of summer. But then the second week of summer is our trip to Cincinnati, which, have you guys ever taken a mission trip with us? Fountains, have you done a mission trip? Oh, by the way, just real quick, over there on the couch is Noah Fountain.
No, I'm the disembodied voice.
He's the voice of Reach Out. And we have Isaiah Fountain right here. Hello. And you all know Jack Kelly and Abigail. So there's your introductions. But coming up in summer, the second week of summer, is our mission trip. And I don't think the Fountains, have you ever taken a mission trip with us before?
We're going to the beach.
You're going to the beach? All right, awesome. They got back from Disney not too long ago, now they're going to the beach. Jack did Alaska with us last year. And Jack, I mean, just tell, what do you think about mission trips?
It was a great experience. I really had no idea what we were going to do going into it. It was just kind of, I just went into it knowing it was going to be a good time. I knew people I was going with. It was a pretty small group. It was only 4 students and a few adults, and we got to know some people in Alaska. Got to change their lives for the better, and it was a really great experience.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. One of the things I would say about, because that trip we took all seniors, but this trip is open to rising 7th graders and then on. But one of the best things I think about a mission trip is the travel time. Like getting stranded were we in Seattle when we got stranded? Was it Seattle? We flew from Anchorage to Seattle, and then we got stuck in Seattle for hours. No, we got stuck in Minneapolis. Yeah. Do you remember sitting there? We flew in.
I wouldn't say that was the best time.
No, that was awful. But still, you look back at it now, and it's fun because there was a storm coming through, and I remember Jack sitting in the back of the plane, and he was like, "Let's just go, let's leave." And I'm like, "Jack, do you want to fly through the electrical storm?" And he goes, "Yes, fly through the electrical storm. I don't care, just fly home." It was awesome.
We were in the back row, and then there's a lady throwing up in the bathroom.
Yeah, there was a lady puking in the bathroom.
Definitely won't forget that.
It was disgusting. But see, you might say, "Oh, that's kind of gross," but these are the stories you get when you go on a mission trip. Like our trip to Nashville. If you were to ask old Reach students, travel there and back, and being in a van and being it's so much fun. But Cincinnati, I know it's not like going to Alaska or going to a beautiful island or going to Central America, but it's going to be a phenomenal trip. So look into that, check that out. And then we'll keep you guys up to date on the changing of the spring break activities, but we'll also keep you up to date on what's going to be happening through the summer, because we got some good stuff coming through the summer. So, but speaking of Reach, we thought we'd do a little bit of an icebreaker here, because I was thinking about a question that we could ask to get us going, and it was pretty much this. because I thought we played a pretty fun game last week, the caterpillar, kind of the snake game. It was a little slow at the beginning, but it was kind of fun at the end, and the girls won, right? Girls won. But my question to you guys is, what is the dumbest or worst game we've ever played at Reach?
Oh, I think it was telephone, but it's
the pickup line.
It's not your fault. It's more like some people don't like telephone, and some people change it on purpose, which puts it all off.
Yes. And then people are just embarrassed by the whole thing. So like,
well, yeah, because it was telephone pickup lines, because we did it for Valentine's Day, like the worst pickup lines. But see, now you've set the precedent. Anytime we play telephone, people are just going to dramatically change it. So what we should do for the next telephone game is I'll give everybody a line, and then we have to see who gets the most creative at the end, and who messes it up the most.
Yes, I like that.
And makes it fun. Like I thought that'd be pretty good. All right, Jack, what about you? What's the dumbest game we think we've ever played?
I don't know. We've played some pretty dumb games over the years. I remember I forget what the point of the game was, but it was in like middle school. It was in like one of the all-nighters we did, and I had to put like a sock around my head with like a tennis ball in it, and I was trying to like hit stuff off a cone or something. I don't know. I just got a scar from it. I don't remember what it was, but it was really weird.
What games are you
You remember that?
That's right. I do remember that. Yeah, that was a good one. Abby, what about you?
So I couldn't really think of any, but this one that I didn't know in Isaiah over there is one where you're trying to keep a balloon in the air, and the point just seemed like what.
Oh yeah.
Balloon juggling?
Right, try to keep a balloon in the air. Because I kept throwing in balloons, right?
And, no one could do that.
Do you guys remember the game that we played where it was 2 trash cans at the other end of the room, and then everybody was sitting in their chair, and you like pass a ball from person to person?
Yeah, that was fun.
To dunk. You like that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I thought that was the dumbest thing I ever came up with in my life. But you liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something.
Because I remember some people just kind of sitting there and looking around going like, why are we doing this?
That's kind of weird, but that's alright.
There's a game where I think you hold hands and you try to get other people to touch like a garbage can or something in the middle.
That's
a fun game.
Yeah, Amoeba, I think we call that one.
Really?
The other one I really liked was Amazon Woman. Remember where we put all the guys in the middle of the room and they link arms?
Oh, that was so much fun.
And the girls have to remember. I just remember, and she's moved to Virginia Beach, but it was Bailey Giles who just went nuts the last time we played that, and she was like digging her claws into, and I think it was Ian. I want to say it was Ian, or it was either Ian or her brother, but they like had like claw marks in their arms. It was called Amazon one, but she was pulling them apart. So yeah, it was fun though. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoy watching it. It was a lot of fun. But as you know, guys, we're doing this because coronavirus is going around, and I know it's like messing up your guys' plans. Right? You guys are seniors.
Yeah.
So what's that doing to your senior year?
It's like definitely 2 different perspectives. Because one perspective, it's like it's senior spring, and so we don't have to really care about anything in the first place, and now we're just getting off for a ton of school. But on the other hand, like I've been playing baseball my whole life. This is my last baseball season, and it's supposedly going to get canceled now. So that definitely stinks. And like a lot of the girls that are stressed about prom right now because they already bought all their prom dresses.
Oh, that's right. Prom is going to be toast.
I'm not that upset about it because I'm sure someone's going to throw some party with everyone's like, dress nice, it's prom, but
right.
I don't know.
I would bet though, like they'll cancel things at schools, but they'll push prom to the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they'll get rid of prom.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Tell us. We should have the comments going. So leave comments below. What was your worst game or favorite game at Reach, and how has the corona like affected your like school right now, and what are you guys missing? Because I know that's a big deal for a lot of people.
Yeah, like for me, I work at the Covenant School. It's like I won't get to work and like see the kids.
Yeah.
But but then I also get a lot of free time, so there's that too.
A lot of free time. What are you going to do with your free time? Leave that comment below. I'd be interested to know that one.
I'm going camping next week with some of my friends. So like the middle of the week because we got nothing else to do.
My son freaked out this morning because my Chrisanne printed off like this daily schedule thing because Covenant kids still have to do school. Like they're all online now, right? So my son thinks that this is like pre-summer. So he's like not wanting to do anything. So this morning she told him, no, you still have school, and I'm pretty sure he like went Pink Floyd and threw his book across the room and said, no, I'm not doing this. Teacher, leave those kids alone, kind of a thing. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, you guys are affected. So let us know how it's affecting you guys, and let us know what you guys are doing. Maybe to fill that time. Are you studying, or are you just hanging out, or maybe you guys are serving and doing something. That's what I would encourage you guys to do. Get out there and serve a little bit. Go do something and go be an impact, because that's actually what we're talking about today. So we're going to read from Matthew 5. Verse 13 through 16, and it's salt and light, and I'll read it, and then what we'll do just kind of for our devotional today is just keep moving through the Sermon on the Mount. Go ahead, Noah, you can do that. And then we're going to end with something pretty fun, so watch to the end, okay? But this is what Jesus says in the end of the Beatitudes. And remember, the Beatitudes are attitudes of people who are within the kingdom of God. So Jesus is describing what our attitudes and what our focal point should be as believers in Him, as followers in Him. And He ends the Beatitudes with, "Blessed are the persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." And then He makes another paragraph where He says, "Blessed are you when people insult you and when people persecute you and say falsely all kinds of things against you because of me." And then He drops down even farther. Darcy Becker, do you want to say hello to people?
Are you taping?
Yeah, right now. Say hello. That's a lot of snack pack pudding you got. But then Jesus makes this statement of, blessed are you when this happens to you because of me. And then the very next verses, in verse 13, this is what He says. So we're going to read it right now. It says, Jesus says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden, neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." So my question to you guys right here to get us going is, do you see any kind of connection between Jesus talking about being persecuted, and then the very next line He's talking about, "But let your light shine"? Mm-hmm. Like, how does that make you feel? Or what do you think about that?
Well, he's saying that people will persecute you for it, but the only way for that to be made worth it is if you, like he's saying, you're the salt of the earth, but if salt loses its saltiness, how could it be made salty again? It's saying you gotta just stick with it through all the tough times and through the, example, 4 weeks of not going to church and anything, something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
What I got from it is when it made me think of what he said, if you kept on, if you can't, the salt is basically you, and if you don't keep yourself salty and you don't stay connected with God, then you will lose that and you may not come back.
Interesting. Okay.
I feel like for me, you need to not fear, because I feel like if you're fearing, that's like you're being put under the bowl.
Okay.
So that's what for me.
So if you're fearing the persecution, that's good. Because Jesus is big. The way I saw this was, Jesus says, you're going to be persecuted because of me. And we talked about that last week. But then He's talking about your salt and your light. So He's like, you got to let your example shine. You got to let it come. So in a way, Jesus is kind of saying again, you have to know that we're calling you to be salt and light in the world. We're calling you to be examples, and your example points people to the Father. But if you let fear control you...
Yeah, like I feel like in the sermon today, the disciples were in that room, and they were locking the doors because they were scared.
Okay.
So I feel like they were kind of covering themselves with the bowl because they were the salt of the earth.
Right, but they were putting, because their fear made them go underneath. So for you, when you're looking at this, it's kind of like you got to know the persecution's coming, but you are called to be that light, and you're called to it. And I think there's many other places in Scripture where Peter talks about this, and James and Paul even, that they delighted in their suffering. And I think last week we put it in simple terms, saying that they delighted in suffering because they knew they were doing their faith the correct way. But they also delighted in their suffering, I think, historically in the church, because when they suffered, they began to love people more. It was this awesome scenario in the early church that as these Christians were suffering, these new believers were suffering, the church actually grew. Did you guys know that?
Mm-hmm.
You guys realize that, right?
Yeah, I've read about in history. Like, either that was the best time too.
Yeah.
Usually persecution slows the rise.
It's supposed to, at least.
But it made it go up. Yes.
Because of the persecution, Christians left Rome to find a better place to do it. So that spread it out over Greece, Turkey, everywhere else.
Right. So, I mean, that's kind of was also the point we were making last week, that like the Chinese church and the Iranian church and the churches in Iraq, they're actually the fastest growing churches in the world. Because it's just this amazing thing that when Christians are persecuted, they become salt and they become light. And it naturally happens. And I think what Jesus is calling us to, not only for us to realize that we are the salt, we are light, but when we are those things, when we are those examples to the world, we're going to get pressed and we're going to get persecuted. But when we have these moments where things get hard, that's where we shine the most, and that's where we give the most flavor to the world. So right now we have the coronavirus going around, and if I were to take you guys in the hallway of the church, I mean, what did it look like coming in the church right now?
I saw a lot of oranges.
Yeah, a lot of oranges.
Just a lot of food and supplies and stuff like that.
Yeah. So all morning, people in our church have been dropping off food because they're going to help the schools pack lunches for people who need school-assisted lunch, and they're not going to get that because schools are shut down. So our church, it costs us something financially. It costs us our time. It even costs us being safe, because, I mean, what happens if we pack food and we're bringing it to people that have corona? I mean, that's scary. But when we're being pressed a little bit, and I realize this isn't persecution, but when we're being pressed, how does the church respond? Well, it's responding by providing food, and it's responding by going out and serving people. And so I guess in all of this, what I would say is over the next couple weeks, we do have opportunities to be salt and be light, and we do have opportunities to serve and to really bless people. So how are you guys going to use that? How are you going to use the opportunity to do something awesome for Jesus over the next I would say month. I'd say month at least. So any other thoughts you guys want to throw in before we close and get to the end here?
Just kind of going off what you're saying, just like one last thing. When it says like you were the salt of the earth, I think salt, when, at least especially the time that it was written, salt was kind of like a preservative. Like that was the main use of it. And it's like that's supposed to do. So like we're supposed to be preserving like the word of God and the protecting, the aspects of what we're supposed to be doing. And so I think that's kind of big on what we were saying with everyone bringing food and everything. Like it's important to have that sense of community. And when it says like a town built on a hill cannot be hidden, you can't try and just hide that for a month. You gotta keep pushing with it. So
that's awesome. Well, if you have any comments or if you have any thoughts on Matthew 5, what we just read, I'd love to hear them. I want to see them. Leave us some comments below and let us know what you guys are thinking. So that's it from us for our first podcast. The only thing is we're going to close today because I figured, in correct podcast style and reach style, it wouldn't be something unless we did something stupid. Yes. So what we're going to attempt today, if you might have been staring at this beautiful bottle the whole time you were sitting out there, this is chili habanero sauce. And then what Noah has right there, he's going to put it on the table for us. It's just a big thing of Bomb Pop. So we're calling this the Fire and Ice Challenge.
Delicious combination.
So move those things over that way. And what we're going to do here is, if you ever watched the show Silent Library, we're going to make a little bit of a play on that. So on the table right here are these little cards, okay? And I'm not going to show them to you because we don't want to see them. But on the card is either a frowny face or a blue check mark. And then one of the cards actually has skull and crossbones, which is death for all of us. So at random, we're going to slap our hands on a card, we're going to take it, we're going to flip them over. If you got a check mark, you're safe. But if you got the frowny face, you have to pick the Bomb Pop, in which, here's the thing, you have to eat it within 10 seconds and hopefully not suffer the effects of brain freeze.
Oh no, you will.
Or you can choose to do the fire challenge and drop some hot sauce, which I think is about 500,000 Scoville.
It's disgusting.
And it's well, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is the Black Label habanero. So I'm really not looking forward to this.
Wait, so I have a question.
Yes.
If we get the skull and crossbones,
everyone has to do one.
If you get the skull and crossbones, everybody has to do something.
Do they get to choose the one, or do we have to choose one?
I think we all should just do a shot of the.
I'm not
person
doing
chooses
that.
Yeah. If you get the skull and crossbone, you got to take the shot no matter what.
What?
I'll throw myself in there.
Yes.
Are you guys?
Right.
Oh Lord, I don't want to do this. I hate hot sauce so much.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, pull it in. Let's get these out of here. Don't look at it yet. Oh no, you're killing me. Oh jeez. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh no! You two are safe. I got the frowny face, so I don't have to do the hot sauce.
I got the frowny face.
Nobody got the.
Okay, you don't have to have it.
Nobody got the skull and crossbones, so we're good. All right, give me a bomb pop.
No one's doing the
Anyone
sauce?
doing the sauce?
No.
I think Abigail should do the sauce.
Yeah, you said you were gonna do it.
I think. Hold on a second.
Actually, I'll just do it.
Wait.
I want to.
Yeah!
Oh,
There you go.
Let's just.
Well, we're going into this. I was thinking I could do this, but just looking at like the texture of this is gonna suck.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Especially since we just ate Jimmy John's before this.
To put a timer on.
No, we gotta do. Well, the thing is, you gotta do it as fast as you can. And I am so
Wait,
glad.
so it has to be in your mouth.
No,
you have to swallow
we
it?
have to eat this within 10. So you mean you're chewing this icicle, and putting it in here.
All right,
before we.
you're doing it.
All right, hold on. Wait a minute. Should we let Abby go first?
I think.
I think we should. Oh, there she goes. Oh yes.
No, I missed it.
So much regret.
Oh, how is it?
So much regret.
I've had worse.
I mean, she's always getting.
This is why the girls win everything in Reach right here. This is why they win everything.
No, I'm taking it. I'm still taking that.
Maybe one of us should go at a time.
So.
All right, so
No, it's
ready?
all good at the same time.
No. One of us go at a time.
No, we're going all at the same time.
Yeah.
3, we gotta get done.
2, 1, go. Oh crap.
Looks like Scott got it.
Oh.
How you feeling, Scott?
Oh.
Oh, Jack's not feeling good. Oh, he ain't doing so hot.
It's not hot. It's just I can feel it. I can feel it in my back. No. It's not about getting it done. It's about the consequence of the brain freeze that is now working down my spine. Oh, there it is.
I'm good.
I'm good. I just got my stomach.
Oh, it's right in my back.
All right, 2 big bites.
Woo! All right.
Oh.
All right. That concludes the first Reach Out podcast. Look, these guys here are awesome, but we want to get more. Oh my goodness, it's working its way. Like the back of my head is frozen. I want to get
some of that.
I want to get. No, I'm not. No, get that. That's death on a stick. But what we're trying to do here is, like, these guys here were so awesome, and I would gladly have them back. But we want to get more of you guys involved doing the podcast. We want to get everybody together. So if you're interested in doing this, hook me up, reach out to me, and we'll get you guys in here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and God bless you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Actually, wait, hold on. Did you send the girl?